Welcome to the Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions podcast with Brent Bailey. And at the tech booth, Jody Cook-Bailey and Luke Cardio. We are growing our circles of connections and knowledge together with encouraging conversations and positive communications. And now, Brent Bailey.
Whatever you're doing, stop and run and hit the share button because today's show is outstanding. We have a wonderful show planned for you today. Welcome to Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions. My name is Brent Bailey, and man, I have got an incredible show planned for you today. I've got a comedian named Nazareth who has just... every time we've seen him, he kills. It's just amazing. We've met him at an Increase event, and he absolutely slayed. And so we are so excited to have him on the program. He's going to be coming out here in just a few minutes. But first, before we do that, let's talk about what's going on in the country today. So let's head over to the tech booth where Jody and Luke are there. And guys, how are you doing over there? Everything well? And
we got a studio audience today.
We do have a studio audience today. My kids are out of school, so hello, boys. Wave to the camera and say hi to everybody.
Over here.
Right over there. Jody, and Luke and Preston and Peyton are the studio audience today because Nazareth is worth it. I mean, we're always in stitches, and when we saw him at the Increase events, it's always been incredible. So. Now, you hear the music playing in the background. That's not an accident. Today is a very special day in the United States. Today is Veterans Day.
Yes.
Happy Veterans Day.
And we salute to all of you who served in the armed forces in any capacity. Thank you so much. We are the country we are because of your sacrifices. And we're so grateful and thankful for you. So those of you who are that have veterans in your family, make sure you thank them. But those of you who don't, maybe that you know somebody that is, or maybe a grandparent or a parent even has been lost in combat, this is the day that we remember those. And so veterans, thank you so much. Those are the ones that are still with us. The veterans that are still with us, we thank you. Those who did give the ultimate sacrifice and their families are still with us, we thank you as well for doing that. So, with that being said, if you are a veteran and you are still with us, you are entitled to, and I have no problem with that.
No, I don't either.
I think that you should be rewarded more than you have been. There on the screen is militarybenefits.info. If you go there, there is a link inside the website that will give you places that are giving free haircuts, free meals, free treats for our veterans today. And, we're just all about you guys. So, again, we salute you.
Thank you
Take advantage of those benefits.
Right. I personally think if they've been injured during combat, I don't think they should pay taxes ever again.
Yeah.
They paid the ultimate sacrifice for their country. So thank you. There's a couple of places that you can go to if you didn't get that one. Again, it's militarybenefits.info. But I know there are lists in like the USA Today and some of the media outlets, regardless of what your view is right now. There are plenty of places listing benefits for our veterans. So we thank you. And we give you your props today. Thank you.
One thing I think is so cool, like our friends Brad and Reagan were talking to me about Veterans Day, and they're like, usually what we'll do is we'll do like a restaurant hop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Sure.
That's
Why
so
shouldn't
cool.
they?
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Last year we took a gentleman from the church out, and we went to Olive Garden. Sponsorship deal right there.
Exactly.
Or at least come on, give us some free breadsticks.
That's right. Anyway, they showered him. I mean, they gave him so much food. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So anyway,
That's awesome.
Speaking of food, I did read something today. This is a little bit switching gears. I read that the Chipotle Mexican Grill is going to be the first of all the restaurant chains in America to open the first digital-only online location.
Oh.
Wow.
And I guess they're trying it out, but they're going to open a all digital, all online location. You can't go in and sit down. Everybody orders online. And when they did it, the popularity of it was so incredible, it crashed the system.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
So they are soaring online. Friends, this may be the future.
It may
So
be.
wait,
All-
so what you're saying
Yeah.
is that, okay, there's no indoor seating. There's
No drive-through.
So it's just like a pickup location?
Or delivery. It's called the Chipotle Digital Kitchen, and it opened in Highland Falls, New York. It was a prototype. Just they're going to test it out, and it's really going to be stuck in areas that wouldn't support a full service restaurant.
Oh, okay.
And their digital sales tripled.
Wow.
So
That's pretty amazing.
Amazing.
Good job, Chipotle, for at least experimenting to keep the thing going. As I know, a lot of places are closed
So
down.
who
right
makes
now.
the food? Robots?
No. They have employees
Yeah.
there, but they don't have to do
One day.
a lot of the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
things.
exactly.
You're
One
thinking
day.
about 30 years in the future.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking about
well,
the Jetsons.
Hey, I was going to say this is the Jetsons right now.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
It
I mean,
is.
we talk. Our guest is going to be with us on a conference call. I feel like I should be. When I do this, I feel like I should be laying back with my feet up like George Jetson, and then
Yeah.
he could pop on the screen and be like, Jetson! And so,
See, what I'm thinking is one day I'll have my own Chipotle robot, right?
Rosie.
And then
Her
that's
name's Rosie.
that
Hey,
is
Rosie. You gotta
specifically
say what
like
it is.
only
Hold on.
makes Chipotle burritos, right? I had to go to
Yeah, I mean-
Chipotle and
She'll
buy
be in
my
the
robot.
kitchen.
Yeah, right? It's going to happen. It's coming. So, other things today, Jody,
Sunday day.
it is Sunday day.
Yeah.
Now it's not Sunday.
Don't let them hear you say that.
Yeah,
it's
right. They're gonna be like, "Yay, we
National
get
ice cream
Sunday,
Sunday."
like hot fudge Sunday,
Hot fudge,
caramel
caramel.
Sunday. It's generic Sunday day.
It is generic Sunday
generic,
day. So
right.
whatever it is that you like on a Sunday, today is your day.
Yeah, and
just
so
like,
run out and get one. And if
Make
you're a
your own,
veteran,
get one.
chances are good you're getting
You're
a
gonna
free
get
one.
a free one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I would even just even if I would just ask like, hey, it's Veterans Day. Can I get a free Sunday?
Right, exactly.
I know I saw on the list that Dairy Queen and McDonald's and places that do serve
yeah.
ice cream are offering free meals to the veterans today. So
Yeah.
what a great combination, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Veterans Day doesn't always fall on National Sunday Day, but
Right. No, it doesn't.
it should fall on some kind of
It
day
should.
anyway.
It should. So go
Anyway.
get a yummy Sunday.
Couple things that this is really cool. Today, this day in history, this day in 1978 was the day that the General Lee jumped into our hearts, and as the show The Dukes of Hazzard became a regular on Friday nights. It was always Afro Brent with my rimless glasses, sitting in front of the TV. Screaming, yeehaw, with Bo and Luke, and that started this day in 1978. I was 7 years old when it came out. So, also on this day, long time ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Also on this day in 1918, this is the day that World War I ended, and it's also known as Armistice Day. So this is a big day. Veterans Day, Armistice Day on the same day. We thank again, circling back to the veterans, thank you for your service. It's for things like that we're able to celebrate. So,
Yes.
all right. Well, that's what's going on around the country. I am so excited to expand your search today. Our guest today is one of the funniest human beings on the planet. The first time he did a show, he said he just kind of went into a bar to try it out, and there was folks there that were drinking and things like that, and they were laughing so hard they fell off of the stool. He was originally from the Holy Land, but he is a believer in Jesus, and his comedy is clean, and it is hilarious. He's an author. He is a speaker. He has multiple things online, a podcast host. I'm so excited and really ready to have him on there with all the stress that's going on in the country today. We couldn't have a better guest today than Nazareth. Welcome him to the program, everybody. Nazareth, what's up?
Thank you so much for having me. Oh, on Veterans Day, I hope I'm not a flashback or anything. That's wonderful, really. And you're wearing this camouflage. You're scaring me right now. We don't normally, in my country, we run from people dressed in camouflage. But hey, but I do a lot of stuff with the veterans. Every year I go to Germany and do military bases and all that. So I love what these people have done for our nation, and I appreciate them. So thank you so much for having me. Chipotle now is digital, right? So how many megabytes it takes to eat a burrito?
I know, right?
I don't know. It's sad, like But anyway, yes, thank you for having me. This is awesome.
We couldn't be more grateful for you to take the time and be with us today. Before we give you some room here, how have you been during COVID? Last time we saw you, it was Hawaii. Everything was nice. It was wonderful, but the world was falling apart. How have you been affected by it?
Well, I because English is a second language, I thought the word quarantine meant hibernate. So I started just eating and eating and eating and eating, afraid. But yeah, it's been horrible. It's been horrible. You know what I miss the most? Noses. I miss people's noses, to see their noses and just to. I'm like, we took that for granted. I'm like, and but the best thing about the pandemic is I had to fly to Tulsa, Oklahoma in August, and then I flew into Wisconsin. For the first, I normally go to the airport the day before because I'm from the Middle East, even though after September 11 I feel Mexican, but I go the night before so they can take their time to search me and ask me questions. This time I went, they just put this little like temperature gun to my head. They go ahead. I'm like, what do you mean go ahead? He goes, you're fine. You don't have a fever. Go ahead. I go, I'm from the Middle East. He goes, oh, just go ahead. I don't care. You don't have a fever. I'm like, hey, remember me? You used to call me Random Check. I'm Random Check. He goes, nope, just go ahead. And so that's made life easy for me to travel, which is I don't do much a lot. But the same statements are still at the airport. Like they're still saying, you know what? If anyone gives you anything, don't take anything from a stranger. When's the last? You fly a lot, Brent.
Yeah.
When's the last time someone walked up? Hey, mister, can you take this to my friend? Just go across this backpack. Don't shake it too much or don't pull any strings, okay? Oh,
Exactly.
what? I'm not a stranger. I'm your friend. You don't want to take it? You're racist. That's why you're racist. You have to take it. Okay, you can't. Can I just tamper with your luggage? Please let me tamper with your luggage. What's wrong? When was the last time we did that? I don't know.
I know. Oh,
But
my goodness.
yeah, this pandemic is crazy. It's like, Americans are not used to taking. Americans used to be like living their own house with a big 2-acre yard. Now we're all living in apartments with homeowners association telling us when to leave the house and how far the trash cans have to be. It's horrible. But
Yeah.
but I'm not, you know what? I think I got scared in the beginning, like everybody. I was so scared. I put so much sanitizer. I got pulled out for DUI. I don't even drink. I had so much blood alcohol level from the sanitizer. I was dripping like a newborn baby. Have you seen a baby just come out of the womb? That's how much I was just dripping sanitizer. But
Oh,
yeah,
my gosh.
so it's good to be with you guys and to do a Zoom. This is nice Zoom because I just did one for the seniors from my church on Zoom, and some of the seniors are amazingly high tech, but the others, man, one guy has his eye, one guy has his mouth right on the camera, another one his shoulder. It was like a puzzle. By the time you move all the boxes, you get one head, and that was that's you, huh? That's who I'm talking to. So Florida, huh? You guys voted already, right?
Yeah, we did. How was it out there? Was the voting experience crazy out there?
All my 5 times when I went voting in California, I knew I'm conservative. It's not gonna. Why am I wearing blue on this?
I know, right?
Oh, it's so funny. On election day, you go to bed and everything is red, and then the blue moon is out. You get up in the morning, everything is blue now. All the states are blue all of a sudden. Hey.
Yeah.
That's like a mood temperature ring. You know those? You're like,
Yeah.
okay, it was red at night, it's blue in the morning. But I praise God. Thank God for our nation that we are able to vote and have. Because in my country, you can still vote, but it's only one dot. You pick one dot. and there's always someone in the back of your booth
making
with
sure
a
you
gun.
pick the right
like
one.
pick the right dot. Okay. But we are much advanced. You know, we don't have to do recounts in my country. We know from now for 30 more years who's going to be the president. Unless America gets involved, he's going to be there forever. Am I supposed to keep going, or are we going to ask me questions?
We're going to get to the questions. We wanted to give you a few minutes, though. So.
Oh, no problem. I don't mind. I love it. I just my neighbor is very, completely different voting than me. I love him. That's no political correctness. He's African American. If I call him African American, he gets mad. He said I'm black. His name is Tony. He's very democratic, and but I love this guy. The other day I went to get a screwdriver from him, Phillips. I go, hey Tony, can I borrow a screwdriver? He goes, what are you making a bomb again? I go, you'll be the first to know. In 10, 9, 8, 7. A week later, the Jehovah's Witnesses came to my door. I normally don't open the door, but I have the ring now. So I saw him. I opened the door. I'm like, I'm so glad you're here. My neighbor Tony was asking me, he wanted some faith in his life, and he's hard of hearing. So I just saw him pull in. He's home. Just keep knocking on his door. 2 weeks later, the solar guy knocks on my door. He said, your neighbor said you wanted to save 50% on your electric bill. So I don't like political correctness. I think this nation need to heal after we do the recount, of course. But you know what? I think, like my African American friends, they call me dog. Hey, dog, how are you, dog? My Latino friends call me S.A. Hey, S.A., how are you, S.A.? My Caucasian friends call me buddy. My Middle Eastern friends call me infidel. And my Indian friends call me every day to tell me I owe the IRS money. And they're not. You can't stop those telemarketers. I don't care. COVID is the only thing that has stopped is what do you call it? Terrorists. Terrorists are scared to blow themselves up and maybe catch the COVID. They don't want that. That's why you don't see any terrorist work going on. It's like, I don't know.
Oh man, folks, this is Nazareth. As you can tell, he's a stand-up comedian and a comic and just hilarious. And he's got so much great things, material and things like that. Tell us a little bit about your nightly. It's really comedy on Facebook Live. You do something every night, right?
Yes, I started that actually a week after we came back from Hawaii in March. People were home, people were scared, people were anxious, and I said, okay, what can I do with what I've been gifted with, to be able to take the stress out of people, the scare. So I started a nightly show. We started in 2 hours at night on Facebook Live, and the whole idea was I started with doing comedy, but after a week you run out of material. So I said, okay guys, I know you guys are funny. I'm going to ask you questions. So I started asking questions. I said, okay, give me the worst name for a plumbing business. And normal people, not comedians, come up, okay, Farrah Fawcett is a name. The number one and the number two.
That's pretty good.
It's good. The number one and the number two business, Wet and Wild. So people started being funny. And so we started asking more questions and other questions like, hey, what's the worst name for a dry cleaning business? And they come up with like George Washington or Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. And people are laughing. And in that hour, they forgot about their stress.
So
they
good.
forgot about depression. And then at the end of the show, we say, hey, do you need any prayer? And then I share a little bit of encouragement or a Bible verse that will encourage them. And I wanted after 3 months, I said, okay, this is a lot of time to invest. I'm going to quit it. And people start saying, hey, no, I cry all day. This is the only time of the day I am looking forward to be able to laugh. I'm depressed. This is relieving me. So as of yesterday was 170 shows. And every weeknight on my Facebook page, Comedian Nazareth, you become the comedian and you join in and I guarantee you will laugh so hard.
My goodness,
Just
that's
by reading the
8:30.
comments.
That's 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. That's
Pacific time.
It's 11:30 on the East Coast. So instead of getting in bed and watching your favorite late night host on the East Coast, you could just jump on Facebook and jump in there with Nazareth and laugh a little bit. That would be awesome.
That would be great.
And so then you also have a podcast called Laughter for All. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's I started that last year, and I brought comedians and to open up and be real about their life and just be funny. But then since the pandemic started, decided like, you know what do people need? So I started bringing people that can pour into their life, like Josh McDowell, and then I had Ray Comfort, and then I had a funeral home director talk about arrangements for dying and all that, and then we had people like Dr. Mark from Tulsa, Oklahoma,
Sherwood. Yeah, he's been.
Sherwood,
Yeah.
and he talked about what kind of vitamins you can take to boost your immune system and avoid the pandemic. Last week, I had a model who is on all her photos are on Times Square, and she's a big model, and she started talking about her insecurity and how she said, I wish I was a little shorter, I wish I was a little fatter, I wish I was prettier. And it's like encouraging people who are feeling, and she talked about bullying. And because right now we think there's no bullying because kids in I don't know about Florida schools that are in California are closed, right? We're only
It
doing.
depends. Some places are open and some places are closed.
See, ours are closed, and they said the only way they open them is they have to keep the students 6 feet apart. And I told my kid, how can you pass a test if your other person is 6 feet away from you? You gotta-
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right.
and then my daughter goes to UCLA, and she had to do it virtually. But I remember when we first signed my daughter to school, they said, what do you like to be referred to? And she goes, my name. They go, no, you want to be a she, her, them. This is the big thing in California, which reminded me when Jesus went to the island of Gennesaret, and this man that was demon possessed with a legion of a lot of demons, he probably introduced himself to Jesus like, I am he, and this is him, and they are all in here. So that kind of brings up why people are using those little gender fluidity.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're not political here, are we?
No. No, we try to just be positive and nice to everybody, and that's what we started with is exactly like what you're doing. We just did stuff to try and be positive when COVID hit. So let's talk about, you've got a shop on your website too, that there are lots of product on there. You've got a couple of books, a couple of DVDs, things like that. But the one I wanted to ask you about was your book, Hope in 24 Hours. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wrote this book probably when I finished it about 2.5 years ago. It's been out for a couple of years, but I didn't know it was going to be for such a time as this, because the whole book idea of the book is that's a beautiful cover.
It is.
The whole idea of the book was that your situation can change for the better, which means God can, like a lot of times people in the middle of the night or wake up early in the 3 in the morning, go, I don't know what to do about this. I don't know about my situation. It's going to get worse. I'm going to lose my job. I know it. I'm going to run out of money. I'm going to be evicted. And we always put all the scenarios that's going to get worse and worse. But I wanted to tell people from this book, from my own life, that it can turn for the better if it's God's will. This is not a name it and claim it book. I'm not into naming, but I know God, if it's his will, he has a better solution. And I share 6 examples. Number one, I won't share them all in here, but like when I met my wife, the day I saw her, I asked her to marry me. One day I was single. 24 hours later, I was planning a wedding. um, in 2007 and 8, my house, we had the financial crash, the market, nobody was hiring comedians, and I was talking to the devil, BofA, Bank of America, but I didn't say his name, Lucifer. But they wouldn't let me pay less than my mortgage, so I couldn't. I started paying 90% only to, and they wouldn't take, so started charging me fees and late fees and charges on the fees and penalties on the fees. And before you know it, I was $70,000 in debt.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
waking up every morning, like 4 or 5, like, oh Lord, I know they're gonna call. What am I gonna do? And then one day, a friend of mine calls and they go, "How you doing, Nazareth?" I go, "Oh, I'm doing great." They go, "That's not what God told me." I go, "Well, what did God tell you?" They said, "Well, if you don't want to open up, that's fine. But I feel the Lord told me to send you a check. So it's not from me, it's from the Lord. So don't call me back." Okay, I'm like, fine. I get the FedEx. I'm thinking $1,500, $2,000. It was $100,000
Oh my gosh.
check. One time from a friend I've known for years, didn't expect it. I didn't call him back because they asked me not to call him back. And I paid my up to date. I'm still living in my house. I paid my Honda Pilot, and I paid my credit card. In 24 hours, I was debt free. It was
God.
never in my things to do today or my goals for this year to get married, to be out of debt, and so many other situations. And there's other situation God didn't come through. We're still going through it, but God is able. So this book is about that. Also, is about encouraging people. I came to this country with nothing, nothing, and now I do what I love to do. I'm well, until the pandemic, but I could not do what I've done here anywhere in the world. I could not. The freedom we have, the ability to, you can make fun of the president or anyone, and you can go protest and no one can stop you. People, you know what? In my country, if you're gonna go protest, you're not coming back home. So you better believe in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And over there, we have nice signs. I'm embarrassed about the protesters that happen here. It's sad. They're having like cardboards handwritten with a Sharpie. Come on, homeless people can do better than that. In these poor countries, they have Vista print, man. They're all printed and they're spelled correctly. Here, we don't know. I'm like, do you want to defend or defund? I don't know. Let me know. Can you spell it right? But praise God for this country.
Amen.
So this book, if your kids are reading it, they will be encouraged to know they live in the greatest nation on earth, and that God, God cares, and God has a better plan for our life, and He can, if it's His will, change your situation in 24 hours or less.
Amen. Folks, this is Nazareth. We're going to throw his information up on the screen. If you'd like to get more information about him, you can go to NazarethUSA.com. And for all of his products, you just put in the /shop. You can also go on Facebook, Comedian.Nazareth, Instagram, Comedian Nazareth. On Twitter, he is Nazman. And he does have a YouTube channel, Comedian Nazareth TV. Folks, I would encourage you, especially with everything going on in our country right now, and there's so much to be stressed out about, and it just shows you when he said the folks that come on his show and said, I cry all day, this is the time. These are the kind of people that we want to turn you on to, because it is a great positive shot in the arm when we desperately need it the most, all right? So tonight, 8:30 p.m. Pacific time, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, you can catch him for Live with Naz. Right there on Facebook Live.
11:30 p.m. your time.
Yes, 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. Nazareth, thank you so much for your time today and coming on the show. We love you. We can't wait to see you again. Hopefully it's in Hawaii at the event again.
I hope so. Thank you guys so much. Tell your father-in-law you need to have Nazareth.
Yeah, he's watching right now, I'm sure. So.
I love him. I love Bob. I listen to his 5 minutes every week. It's amazing.
Yeah, right. All right. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon. That's Comedian Nazareth, everybody. Now let's take a moment and stop for directions. In our time today, we've taken a few moments to just laugh and really enjoy ourselves. The Bible tells us that that's something that we should be doing on a regular basis. The Bible says something like this. It says, a merry heart does good like medicine. And I know that there's so much on the line with the election. There is so much going on in the country right now, and so many people are on the verge and really have a moment to stand by what they feel is their principles. And there's nothing wrong with you standing by what you believe. But at the same time, the healthiness that you desire in your life and in your body needs to come from a break. You need to take the time for yourself. You need to take a time to just laugh. Today, that was our goal behind having Nazareth on, because I know that I've read studies that a belly laugh really actually does more for your immune system than a fistful of vitamins does. And so it's good for you to take the time away from this seriousness and away from this stress and away from the anxiety and just laugh. I hope that you did that today. I hope that you took some time to enjoy yourself. If you'd like to continue down that road, jump on Nazareth's website and pick up some of his stuff, some of his products. I promise you it'll be an investment in your health that you'll be glad that you did. All right, that's going to wrap it up for the show today. I'm so grateful to Nazareth for coming on and being with us. I mean, I've just never been around him when I haven't loved everything that he's had to say. I want to thank Jody and Luke for another great program. I can't speak enough about how much these two really do a lot to make this show happen, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm thankful for you for tuning in. Why don't you click the share button and tell your friends to take a moment and stop for directions today and laugh with us on Nazareth. All right? I hope you found what you were looking for today as you took the time to expand your search and stop for directions. God bless. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks for joining us today. Connect with us on @ExpandingYourSearch on Facebook and Instagram and @ExpandingSearch on Twitter. Relive any of our episodes on YouTube. We're available wherever podcasts are found, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can also download the Direction Ministries app on iOS, Android, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Take some time today to expand your search and stop for directions.